President's waiting. Thank you. Let me in. Oh my fucking god, it's Warden Kuros. Ah! I fucking hate this game. At least they fucking interact at some point. Dude, I'm so fucking lost. Pleased to meet you. What do you want to know? Give me any kind of anything. So if you remember the last time I was talking to you about how the last like Dreamscape cutscene that we had, we were in the past and we were asked to be, or Laguna was asked to be the leader of the resistance. This is now the culmination of Laguna accepting the resistance stuff. So now he's the president of this giant fucking city. And they've also been explained as to why we were able to go into the back of their heads and like control them in the past kind of stuff. It fucking sucks. There's Alone. It's fucking weird. Because this girl Alone, who is also L, because this game is an L, has the power to send people's consciousnesses back in time to people that she's met before. So because she's met all of the party members, or actual party members, and she's also met Laguna, who's the guy who's talking right now, and then Kuros and Ward, who are in red and green respectively. Because she met all of them back in the day, she was able to send the people from Seed, that's in our actual party, back in time from wherever she fucking wanted, and then we would control them throughout the like past cutscenes. And of course you don't know that, you don't know the fact that you fucking know anybody until the middle of disc 3, so that's something. And yeah, that's not even the start of it, Cena. It gets fucking weirder. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna give you the TLDR of what I think I understand about this fucking game. All right, so first things first, we have the Laguna squad, who are the guy with the fucking me hair, and then the other two in the fancy weird robe things, the red and green one. Those guys used to be Galbadian soldiers way back in the day, and those guys decided to defect from Galbadia and go on doing their own fucking thing because they were too lazy to do it. Bunch of things happen. You're running around trying to figure shit out. You eventually escape by jumping off of a cliff, and then the big guy goes to work as a janitor in a prison, and then I don't remember what happens with the guy in red, and the guy who we're talking to, Laguna, goes and hides out in a city called Windhill. Windhill is where he meets Rene, which is who's a barkeep effectively, and her daughter Alone, and he effectively turns into the bodyguard for the whole town. While this is happening, the sorceress at the time, who I think is Adele, says, I need successors, so we're going to go abduct young female children, and they're going to be our successors if we find someone adequate. So the entire goal for Laguna is to not have Alone get kidnapped, but then she's just fucking gone. So you have to go look for her. On the process of looking for her, you end up in the city that we're currently in, Esthar, and you're looking for Alone and a doctor that wanted to like research her special ability, and that special ability is the ability to make people go back in time in their consciousness to another person's consciousness if she met them. So researching that, Laguna and squad go to here, figure out where the fuck Alone is, which is apparently not the case because they're just gone. But in the same time, he is seen as really powerful and really charismatic, so he's asked to be the resistance. Funny hand-wavy thing happens, and now he's the president of the city. So that's funny. I don't know what the fuck that means. There's no explanation for that just yet. Then the lore thing is that Alone knew who the current party is. So if I pause and show you like Selfie, Squall, Zell, Irvine, Quistis, and Renoa, all of these people were at an orphanage together with Alone after she was just like removed from her mom in that city that we were just talking about. And fucking Alone eventually leaves because of her ability, and the doctor finds her and wants to study her. Fucking the thing though is that because Alone has met both the Laguna squad and Squall's team, she can send Squall back in time and whoever's in the party to experience how Laguna did all of the things that got to this point. Also, spoiler alert, Cypher was also in this group, so what the fuck that means, I don't know. So we eventually go and become seed candidates, which are basically just mercenaries, and then we have to do a bunch of missions as Squall. All the meanwhile, Alone is sending us back in time periodically to figure out what the fuck is happening with Laguna. Just funny hand-wavy things. And fucking dude, I'm just so fucking mad at this fucking game. What happens after that? Eventually the mission comes through that we need to assassinate the sorceress, who, spoiler alert, the sorceress is the matron from the orphanage. Why do we care about what happened in the past? I don't know. Because Laguna is now a character and we need to know what happened to him and why he's connected to everything, I guess. So we try to assassinate the sorceress. Things go wrong. She fucking parries the sniper bullet, and then we have to fight them. Cypher shows up and he's a pushover. I'm getting to that, Dante. And then we have to regroup, recover, do a whole bunch of other shit to get another chance at fighting the sorceress. But while we're regrouping, we find out that the sorceress is not actually the sorceress as we knew her as the mom of the orphanage. She's actually possessed by some random person from the future. So she wasn't acting on her own volition, and there wasn't any reason why she wanted to actually fight us, but she was possessed. Yeah, true. And we find that out. Or rather, we learn that she was the mom of the orphanage, and then we're like, oh god, conflict, we have to go fight we have to go fight the sorceress now. And it's so, there's so much stuff, but it's all fucking convoluted, and also none of this pieces together until like right now, so it fucking sucks. And also, I still don't give a shit about any of these characters. There's no point to like caring about any of them. So we go to try and fight the sorceress again. Cypher's there. We beat him up. We beat up the sorceress again. Then, funny haha moment, the sorceress's powers get transferred to Rinoa, who is our fucking love interest for Squall. So Rinoa now is getting possessed by the fucking bitch from the future that still hasn't even fucking talked to us at all. So then Rinoa goes into a coma because she can't handle the future sorceress's powers while she's possessing her. So we have to figure out a way for her to be revived, and that involves going to Esthar, which is where we are now. We go to Esthar, we run around for a bit, find the doctor that was in the flashback, and the doctor kind of figures it out, but actually just sends her to the moon, or sends Alone to the moon. Bruno is not Alone. They're two separate characters. So here's, yeah, so this city is so futuristic compared to the rest of everything that's happening right now. They have a fucking moon base, so they have special research stuff on the moon, which is where a previous sorceress is also sealed up there in like cryo sleep or some shit like that. And then Squall and one other party member has to go up and follow Ilone, and you get sent up to the moon, and then a whole bunch of shit happens. You talk to Ilone. Ilone doesn't really tell you what the fuck's going on, and then the alarm goes off because Rinoa gets possessed again by the future bitch, and unseals the previous sorceress, Adele, who's sealed up on the moon. And when she gets unsealed, the moon, doing this lunar cry phenomenon, is like, oh yeah, by the way, the moon is just covered in monsters, and then they're all just going to flood down to the earth in this giant like pillar of like existentialism. And then this is adequate music for how fucking weird this is. That giant pillar of liquid monster, whatever the fuck's happening, literally destroys the moon base, but not before you're able to get an escape pod with Ilone, your party member, and another dude. And you get in that thing, and then there's a huge fucking set of cutscenes where Ilone is sending you into the past, into Rinoa's consciousness, because that's how you figure out that Rinoa was possessed by the future sorceress. And then Squall has some fucking weird thing snap in his brain, and he says, I'm in love with Rinoa. I need to go save her because she's like just floating around in space now. So he just fucking yeets himself out of the escape pod, and fucking you just have to drift into space and try to catch Rinoa. You catch Rinoa, and then you're like, what the fuck do we do now? And then, spoiler alert, giant fucking mech T-Rex dragon thing that's a ship just is there, and you manage to get into the ship, and you have to clear out the ship, and then you can fucking fly back to Earth. And Now we're in this last little piece where you eventually, when you clear out the ship and then you fly, you actually get access to it and you can fly it back. You get a radio transmission from Esthar, which is the place we're in now, and they're like, I will hydrate in a minute, and thank you for the energy, because I'm gonna expend all of it trying to fucking yell about this game. And you eventually get the ship. They can remote control the ship now that someone is there to like do a couple of things, and send it back into the Earth atmosphere. However, because Rinoa is now a sorceress, she has to be locked down and sealed forever, because she's not supposed to, because if she's not, then the future sorceress is going to come back and take her over and then also cause a lot of damage. Squall, in his love-struck turmoil, will not have that, so he fucking goes and rescues her, but no one fights you. You literally just fucking like flash your gun blade and walk up to her and you cut a wire, and then she just walks out. Nobody cares. But guess what? Ward was there, so he just let you go. So that's a connection, I guess. And then after that point, when she's back at your party, you go back to the orphanage, and you have that cutscene where Squall and Rinoa make the promise from the beginning cutscene of the entire fucking video game. And now we're basically caught up to where we are, except for the fact that now Squall actually knows that Laguna is the president of Esthar, and we're getting a bunch of other backstory information. There you go. There's the fucking TLDR of this game. And yes, that was a TLDR, as I fucking skipped over so much fucking bullshit. Let me hydrate.